All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into a very important conversation about sustainability and sustainability challenges and what are some of the solutions that are being provided. We've been joined by gentlemen from Blue Skies, and we're going to get right into this conversation. A friend of mine is on the set this morning, and he owes me, so I'm going to rib him this morning. He's not going to get away with it. But I've been joined by Dr. Ebenezer Laye. He's an associate professor in international sustainable development law at the University of Northampton. And also Simon Derrick, who is the global head of sustainability, Blue Skies Holding Limited. And Alistair Jamete, yes, the person that... Yeah, he and I have issues, Foundation and Corporate Affairs Manager, Blue Skies Ghana Limited. Gentlemen, you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Alistair,
yes, bro.
Where is my... Okay, you will get into the conversation. I'll deal with him later.
We'll do that one after you, don't worry.
All right, so Blue Skies Freshppact initiative. What are we talking about here? Let me start with you, Alistair.
So this is an initiative by Blue Skies, which is being championed by Northampton University, being sponsored by the UK Aid and supported by UNCTAD. The basic focus of this particular project is for us to find alternative solutions to the challenges of plastics in our environment. Blue Skies is an agribusiness that is in fresh product. We do fresh fruit and fresh food products for major supermarkets in Europe. Over the years, we have been doing pineapples in this country for quite some time. And the advent of MD2 pineapple brought together this issue of plastic mulch usage, which has created a lot of problems in our various farming communities across the country. And as a business, we also depend so much on a lot of plastics, PET containers, and getting our consignments and our products out to our consumers. Looking into the future and talking about sustainability, we thought, what can we do differently so we'll be able to mitigate the challenges of plastic in the environment? So this whole project is for us to find alternative solutions, reach out to solution providers, work with our partners, and get more permanent solution and address the issues of plastics within our production sector, which can also be extended to the general economic of Ghana.
Okay. Now, Dr. Laye, before I come to you, let me speak with Simon as Global Head of Sustainability. Alistair said it quite eloquently, but let me hear from you. In terms of the Ghana space, what do you see as the major challenges, and where does Blue Skies plug in, to bring solution?
Yeah, no, well, thank you. Blue Skies has been in Ghana now for 25 years. Sunday was 25 years to the day since Blue Skies started operating. So we've been here for a quarter of a century, and we've seen a number of different challenges over the years. And I think in terms of sustainability, there are certain priorities which we are looking at, and one of them, of course, is looking at plastics. And how we can mitigate pollution related to that, but also looking at other topics as well, such as carbon emissions within our supply chain and how we can play our part in reducing emissions. Looking at biodiversity, what we can do to raise awareness of biodiversity, protect natural habitats, look after nature and wildlife, but most importantly as well, ensuring that we are doing our part to support the local communities, where our staff live, where our farmers are supplying us from. So that's where the foundation comes in and how we play a part to address challenges around infrastructure. But I think it can go hand in hand as well with what we're doing with Freshppact, because whilst Freshppact is looking to address environmental challenges, it presents opportunities around social opportunities as well, in terms of improving livelihoods and providing opportunities for employment too.
Ebenezer, talk to us about Freshppact. What it is, why now, and then the potential benefit to Ghanaians.
Yeah. Thank you so much, and good morning to your viewers. So I'll start with the what it is. So it's a research and development hub that's been funded by, as Alistair said, UK Aid, NANCTAD through the Sustainable Manufacturing Environmental Pollution Program, or SMEP program. Why now? Because now is the right time. Now is the right time because I think we're all seeing, with the passage of each year and with the series of environmental crises that are coming up, sort of the issues that we face. And so we have a serious plastics problem in this country, which we have to address. If your children and mine are to have a sustainable environment, which they can, of course, rely upon for their own livelihoods. And so we have three key challenge areas that we're trying to look at. Okay. It's a big problem. We can't stretch ourselves to solve everything. We have to start somewhere. So the first step in the journey of 1,000 miles is to look at three core areas. So we're looking at addressing or limiting plastic pollution in the areas of the use of plastic for agricultural mulch, the use of plastic workwear, and the use of plastic packaging. Okay. And so that's where Freshppact is focused on at the moment.
Okay. Now, looking at the space in Ghana, you said you can't spread yourself thin. Is there a particular area that you're focusing on, a particular geographical area that we're investing in?
Yes, so of course, the focus is on the three areas, as I said, but mainly within the agri-food sector. Okay. So we have some solutions. We've researched some solutions which we are going to begin testing and trialing and commercializing. And the testing and the trials are going to be within the geographical area surrounding the Blue Skies factory in Nsawam at Dobro. And so we're going to be doing that there. Now, one of the key significant things about the project, which I think will be interesting for the Ghanaian people to know, is that a lot of the technological innovations that we are going to be trialing and testing have applications elsewhere in the economy. Okay. So for instance, with the workwear, we're looking at trialing a workwear that's not made from plastic, but made from bio-based materials, which are compostable. Interesting. So what that means is that obviously you'd use them, you would be able to discard them, and obviously they would not harm the environment because they would compost, unlike plastic, which takes millions of years to do that. So the question is, can we use that technology elsewhere in the economy? We have a serious problem around the use of carrier bags, plastic bags, right? So could we substitute the plastic bags that we have at the moment with these kinds of bags that would compost? Think about what that would mean and the impact it would have, for instance, on our seasonal or perennial flooding problem in Accra, which is due in large part to plastics.
Alistair, when is the project beginning?
Well, this is a project that has actually started.
It's already started?
Yeah, at this stage, what we are looking at is on Friday, we are going to have a major stakeholder engagement in the factory to discuss the next step. But then at this stage, we want to try the ideas, like Dr. Ebenezer said. There have been some very wonderful ideas that have come up. We want to try them and see how effective some of these things will help in addressing in long term some of these challenges that we have identified. So that's the stage we have gotten to, and we are very hopeful.
Simon, what are some of the, what do you think about some of the, I've seen quite a few people going into sustainability solutions like, creating dustbins from plastics, creating clothing, different kinds of like footwear and other things from that. What do you think about those entrepreneurial drives and how much impact they can potentially have on Ghana? Yeah,
no, that is exactly the kind of innovation that we're looking for, the sort of enterprise that we're interested in. And we're at this stage now where it's very exciting. We're looking at these shortlisted solutions that can potentially deliver some of these entrepreneurial ideas. How can we potentially solve one problem but also address other challenges at the same time? So, for instance, we approach this by looking at those three challenge areas that Ebenezer mentioned, and we thought, okay, so we're looking at the agricultural mulch. We're looking at the workwear, we're looking at the packaging. Well, what if the the waste packaging could be then recycled into workwear or PPE solutions. And what if the PPE in the workwear can then be used as agricultural mulch? And then for the mulch, we're looking at, what can the options be for recycling that? Okay, we're looking at compostable materials, but there's also, we're looking at some technology to remove the mulch from the soil, because that's part of the problem.
Yeah.
And then what can we then do with it? Now, could it be then used to recycle to make buckets, to produce materials to make roads with?
Yeah.
And we've seen innovations where entire houses are built out of plastic flake.
Yeah.
So these are the kinds of innovations that we're really excited about and we're looking for, and we quite often talk about it in terms of connecting the dots, because the ideas are out there, people are doing these things, but we just don't all know about it. And actually that's one reason why we're here today, is actually to help us connect those dots and find out about things that maybe we didn't know about that could really help us here.
If we did things right, in terms of the Freshppact project, in terms of rolling out the other projects after that and all of that, if we did things right, how long do you think it would take for us to deal with our plastic problem?
Yeah, I think it's
multi-million-dollar question.
It is a multi-million-dollar. Literally.
That's why I'm asking
you. It's difficult. It's difficult to answer. But however, I think what we can give ourselves confidence with is that my belief is that as Ghanaians, there's nothing that we can't do if we work diligently with integrity. And we collaborate with others, right? We've done fantastic things before. So we can't put a number of years on it, but I think we can emerge out of the plastic problem. We need to have a comprehensive solution. It requires people like us, doing research, working with others, but it also requires other things, such as the necessary policies, right? Because if we have solutions, and if those solutions cost more than what is being used at the moment, it doesn't incentivize people to use the alternatives. Yeah. So we need to think comprehensively about this. And that's why we're having this stakeholder event, right? We need to engage in the conversations, as Simon said, to connect the dots. So the policymakers need to do what they need to do to support us, and we need to do what we have to do to ensure that those alternatives are there, not just for business to use, but also for individuals, to use as well. And I think if we do those things pretty well, then I don't see why anyone who wishes us out of this plastic problem should be disappointed.
Speaking of individuals getting involved, for those who are watching right now, Alistair, if it sounds interesting to them, is there any way they can participate, get involved, get in touch? How do they?
Well, we've sent out a couple of invitations, and like we usually say, our doors are always open. On Friday, if there's anybody who is interested in participating in any of our activities, and just like we have indicated, I don't know if I can leave my number.
Yes,
they can call 0244793279. It is just this Friday, so we'll be happy to have them. Like Dr. Ebenezer said, we are basically meeting to share ideas. We are trying to find a more permanent solution that will bring us some kind of sustainable benefit as a people. And we wish people who have ideas to share, people who have solutions to some of these problems can come, so that together we'll work things out for our good.
And if I could also
yes, go ahead. Yes,
because we're also on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram, and we've got a website, Freshppact.org with 2 P's .org. So go to our social media sites, come to our website, and there's an email address on the website as well. So please, we welcome people to get in touch.
All right. Who wants to give us final words?
Start from you, Dr.
Yes. Well, in terms of final words, I'll keep it short. Your first question actually reminded me of a quote, one of my favorite quotes from Jack Kennedy, who once said that, many see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not.
Okay.
Right.
I like
so,
that.
I think this is a why not moment for us. We've got a problem. The UN released a report recently where they said that if we don't do anything to address plastic pollution, especially in areas like the use of agricultural mulch. We're going to have more plastics in our soil than we have in the oceans. Think about what that means for us as a country. Think about what that means if we're not able to feed ourselves. Think about what that means, not just for our food security, but our soil fertility, etc. So, in closing, for me, it's a why not moment, and I encourage everyone who's listening to this to join hands with us as we try and address this problem.
Okay, Simon?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to follow on what Ebenezer said, but absolutely. I mean, I often talk about how it's important to work together. No one individual company or person can solve these challenges on their own. So, we need to work together, and that's what Freshppact is trying to do. We're not looking to do this just for Blue Skies. It's about the wider industry. It's about doing it for Ghana. It's about doing it for the planet. And so, my message is, let's go out there. Let's make a difference, but let's do it together.
All right, Alistair.
Okay, so what I'll add to all this wonderful words by Denzel and Simon and Dr. Lai is to say that yes, we are here today talking about a problem. Who caused the problem? We caused it, and that we need to find solution to it. And whilst we are trying to find solution, we just want people to be responsible and take actions for the things that we do. We should also try as much as possible to minimize the kind of plastic waste we create for the environment, whilst we try to find solution to. So let's be very responsible as a people, and let's come together and find a more permanent solution to our challenge with regards to plastics.
All right, fantastic. We've been speaking with the team from Blue Skies Freshppact initiative, and Dr. Ebenezer Laye joined us on the show, Simon Derrick, and Alistair Jamete. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. All right, we'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will continue shortly.